So, I recently did a review of this really lovely looking Bluetooth gamepad, and it's called the NES30 Classic Edition. Now, as you can see, this is a very good replica of the original NES controller without the wires, and it comes with a couple of shoulder buttons as well. Now, one of the problems I did have with this is the fact that it's not really suited for like first-person shooter games because, you know, there are two very important analog nubs that are missing, and you know, I like analog nubs. I mean, that's like the modern day controller usually comes with analog nubs. So, you know, wouldn't it have been great if this gamepad actually could have analog nubs? Well, let's wait no further, because we introduce, ta-da! Introducing the NES30 Pro game controller. So taking it out of the box, well, before I take it out of the box, this is what it looks like. Shows the bottom of the controller, the front, well, the top of it, and the very top of it, of course, shoulder buttons and stuff, right? So NES30 Pro game controller shows you here Android, iOS, iCade only. So iOS, so there's an iCade application that runs on iOS, and there's a ton of iCade games. So iCade only when it comes to iOS. It works on Mac OS and Windows as well. So that's the 8Bitdo logo there. And there she is in all of her glory. Nice rubber protection there. So it comes out like that, right? So we saw this already. Well, so it comes out. Put your finger in here like this. It comes out nicely like that. And what else comes in the box? Take this out from here, and we take this out as well, and we seem to have some more goodies under here. So when I pull this up, we have the instruction manual, NES30 Pro, everything old is new again. So it just tells you how to set it up, of course, in multiple languages, tells you about the buttons and all that stuff, and right, pretty straightforward. What else is in the box? So we have two boxes. The bottom one, picture of a USB cable, which is used for charging it, of course. And there's your ribbon cable. But it's USB, right? Mini USB. And here's another one. Oh, it could be in here. Everything old is new again. 8Bitdo. We have our charging cable. So I wonder what's in here. How do I open it? Oh. Let's try from this side. Oh, so it comes with a little keychain, and for people who are into collecting stuff like this, this is handy, I guess. FC30 8Bitdo. So everything old is new again. Alright. And there's a little gamepad on the back there. So it's a nice little collectible keychain. Nice little keepsake. And this, of course, would appeal to the, you know, hardcore gamer who has at least 20 years of gaming under their belt. They've been playing games in the 90s at least, or even as far back as the 80s, and they have an appreciation for 8-bit gaming. Alright, so anyway, that's what's in the box. And just put everything back there. Right, let's put the cover back on. Let's take a look at this little itty bitty thing here in more detail. Yes, this cute little itty bitty thing gives you the best of both worlds. You have the look and feel as far as the color scheme and buttons of the original NES game system. You know, the red action buttons, 4 of them of course, labeled X, B, A, and Y, your start and select buttons in the middle, all rubberized, and of course our ever famous D-pad. This also comes with, again, shoulder buttons. Now, remember I said it would be great if I had 2 analog nubs? Well, there they are. And you know what? In addition to that, this comes with 2, not 1, but 2 shoulder buttons on each side. So pretty much all the standard keys that you find on a modern day controller, you get in this nice little itty bitty, ultra portable, nostalgic looking gamepad. And yes, just like its little brother, it is compatible on all of the popular mobile platforms, popular OSs actually, like Windows, of course, Mac, iOS, and Android. You name it. It's Bluetooth, right? Exactly. Now, when I look at it and hold it, as you can see, the size of it relative to my hands, it's pretty portable, and yet when I hold it like this, I can use the nubs here, and I can use the action buttons, and I can use the D-pad, and I have very good access to the shoulder buttons here. And I'm sure you notice now there's this little the LED it has a really cool form factor. So this is what shows you you know, when it's actually looking to pair. So right now it's flashing blue, meaning that it is in pairing mode. It's looking to pair with a device. I currently don't have one set up right now, but for illustrative purposes, I just wanted to show you how the LEDs look on this cute little thing here, right? It looks ultra modern. So, nubs, start, select button, very good D-pad, and action buttons. Now, just like its predecessor, or the NES30 Classic controller, the buttons are very high quality, and they feel just like the real, well, the original controller. Now, what's really good about this, if you look here at the top, we have, as I said, 2 shoulder buttons on either side, which is pretty much in line with what you have today on all modern game controllers, right? And as you can see at the top there, we have our mini USB port for charging, because yes, it has a built-in battery, thank goodness. And the nubs, the tops of these are rubberized so they don't slip, which is good. And you know, this is perfect and ideal for games like first-person shooters, and any game that requires you to, like especially those immersive games like first-person shooters where you're walking in an environment and you're looking around and stuff like that. These analog nubs come in very handy. And then of course, if you're classic, you know, retro arcade gaming, you have your D-pad and whatnot, and for action buttons. Now, you know me, I'm very hard to please, and there's only one issue I have, and I guess, you know, I like to play fighting games, and we all know that it's pretty cool to have 6 action buttons when you're playing fighting games. This doesn't have that, but you know what, if you need a really cool gamepad that you can just slip inside of your pocket or take with you in your bag and take it when you're on the go and you need, you know, you're in a coffee shop or something, you want to play a quick game on your tablet, this is the perfect gadget to have. And it will turn heads because yes, it does look like the original NES controller. It just has that, you know, nostalgic look and feel to it. So, in summary, the NES Pro game controller has 2 analog nubs, start and select buttons. It has the directional directional pad on the left there, the D-pad they call it. You have your 4 action buttons, X, B, A, and Y on the right. On the top you have double shoulder buttons. You charge it via the mini USB port on the top. Now when you look at the bottom, there are 2 additional buttons right here. This is the power button, and this is the pair button, right? So when you want to pair, you press this button, and that's the power on and off. These analog knobs also can be buttons as well. So this can be, feel that, click, and I click on the right button as well. So in addition to having the analog knobs, they actually serve as buttons as well. So this is the L3 button here, and that's the R3 button. Alright, so they've crammed all of that functionality into this little thing, and see, that's my hand, and that's how big it is compared to my hand. See? Nice and small. So in summary, we have the NES30 Pro, and there's his little brother, the NES30 Classic. Now, depending on your needs, if you are just into the 8-bit retro gaming and that's all you want, and you want to have that nostalgic feel of playing NES games and playing with an NES system, maybe the Classic on the right is good for you. It comes with the additional extra shoulder button on each side. However, if you really want to have modern day gamepad functionality, you know, with double shoulder buttons, dual analog nubs that can also be L3 and R3 buttons as well, then the NES 30 Pro may be more for your liking. I mean, the trade-off is it doesn't look exactly like the rectangular looking gamepad of the, you know, NES 8-bit console, but you know what? Hey, or do like me and get both. I just love these things, so I got all two. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and feel free to check out the video on, they should have a link on the right hand side to show my review of the NES30 Classic controller as well. And as I always say, check the links below the screen if you're interested in getting your hands on any of these cute accessories for the gamer on the go. Until next time, happy gaming. Hey everybody, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Now I'm going to ask you to do two things before you leave. One, there's a button right up here on the screen to my right here. Click on that and that will take you to our website, www.redtechbot.com. When you get on that site, there will be a button there where you can actually sign up for our newsletter. And when you do sign up for our newsletter by entering in your email address, you will automatically be entered into all of our tech giveaways. And by tech giveaways, these are some typical examples of what we will be giving away, and these are some examples. There's other stuff as well. And the good news is, you just have to enter your email address once, and it will automatically be entered into the pool every time we do a draw. And we will use that email address, of course, to contact the winner to tell them, hey, you've won something, and it's really cool. And of course, the newsletter will have updates on tech reviews, what's coming up new, what's coming up next, new stuff in the industry, and even information on future giveaways, right? So it's really nice newsletter that we're going to be sending out. And one other thing is, on this side on the screen here, up here on my left, you click on that and you will subscribe to the channel. Now by subscribing, of course, you will be at the forefront of any new things that are happening, any new videos that are coming out. And what I will also be doing is I'll be doing videos where I'll be talking about what we're going to be doing as a next giveaway, right? So you want to be subscribed, tuned in to that as well. So it's going to be a fun year and fun years to come as well. So yeah, that being said, you guys have a great day.